After the official announcement of the Mortal Kombat movie sequel, Lewis Tan shared his thoughts on the news with a tweet saying, "Round 2, what do you want to see?" Fans were quick to reply to the actors' questions with improvements that they want to see in the upcoming sequel. I've compiled a list of those improvements and have come up with the top improvements that fans want to see in Mortal Kombat 2. Let me know if you agree with this list and what you'd want to see improved for the sequel. First up on the list is choreography. Many fans pointed out that they wanted improved choreography. User Quincy Brown on Twitter commented, "Bring your fight from Wu Assassins and Fistful Vengeance to the sequel Bloody Like the Raid as well." User Chris Ginger Rivia Barreras commented, "Cleaner fight choreography and editing. You were all phenomenal martial artists and I feel personally you weren't given the true chance to shine given the editing." Lewis Tan replied with, "Let me tell you, our choreography team was incredible and we can work on editing and pace." I think as far as this topic goes, I honestly thought that the choreography was pretty decent. I mean, there were some fight scenes in the movies. The one that really stands out to me is one between Scorpion and Hanzo Asashi and Sub-Zero. I feel like the two actors that portrayed those characters did a really good job as far as doing the martial arts and the fighting. I mean, that whole sequence was pretty phenomenal, and I think probably sticks out a lot of people's minds of Mortal Kombat. But I'm sure there's a lot of improvements that could be made for those particular fighters, and possibly even for the rest of the characters, because as I just said, that's the main part that stands out, not so much the other fights in the movie. To kind of go along with choreography, many fans thought that they wanted more action and more brutal scenes than what we got in the first film. User Kaiju Mecha Samurai said they like to have more brutal, the raid type fights in this, and definitely have the editing more like that instead of being so chopped up. Seeing full fluid fighting is something that was sorely missed in the first film, and if possible, less CG and more practical effects. So I can kind of agree with this because I feel like with CG, it kind of can sometimes take away from the film. I thought, in this movie, the parts with Natara, flying with her wings, very CGI, of course. You can make those practical, I guess, but in this movie they were not. So most of the actress, up from the neck, I believe she seemed, if you watch the movie, it feels like she's CGI and not so much just a, actress, or at least up in the sky looking down and it's all CG and stuff like that. So I get that in some capacity. And then even with some of the moves, there's some things you really can't make practical, like Sonya's stuff, and then with Sissy Stringer's Melina getting killed, stuff like that. But I get what they're saying. I feel like also this movie had a really small budget for what they're trying to do. So sometimes CG is more of a way just to kind of get things done in a faster manner and still kind of make it look polished. So it can be good and bad, I would say. So I can see this being a thing. But of course, action and choreography go together, so I can see where some fans want things just to be a little bit better, a little bit more polished the second time around. Moving on, fans wanted better quality filmmakers. Many fans commented on that the next movie needs better filmmakers who can make a better movie the second time around. I'll agree with me that the first movie had its flaws, but it also had a lot of good things going for it. Given the history of previous Mortal Kombat live-action entries in the franchise, looking at you, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it's nice that we finally got a Mortal Kombat movie that is as close as we're going to get at the time to what fans truly wanted to see. I'll admit that adding here and there facts such as Arcana, adding a new character, may not have been the best way to go at first, but I feel like if we get a couple new people added to the mix that can help make the sequel better, in the end we may be on the road to a good franchise series that we can keep going strong for a long time. Next up, fans wanted more fatalities. I think the first Mortal Kombat movie had quite a few fatalities that were true to the game. Jax smashing Reiko's head was his head crusher fatality, Kung Lao slicing Natara with his buzzsaw hat fatality, Kano's heart rip fatality with Reptile, Shang Tsung's soul stealing fatality with Kung Lao, and Liu Kang's fire dragon fatality against Cabal. So if fans think they need more than that, of course I'm all for it. The more fatalities, the more gore, the better in true NK fashion. But I think that we got a pretty good dose of fatalities in the first one. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the fatalities that we got in the first movie and if you think it was enough to satisfy fans. Next up is better costumes. User @NightScanary posted a pic of the concept suit for Cole Young that takes his previous suit to the next level. Adding to this, user Shadabi APB showcased more concept art of Cole's Arcana abilities going through an evolution. As a response to Lewis's question, and as many have commented on recent videos, fans have said that if the movie gets a bigger budget, then costumes need to be improved. In past videos, I've been talking about how, we can have all these different actors for Baraka, for Johnny Cage, any of the actors, like The Rock, for Shao Kahn, or maybe Kintaro, Mataro, whoever, possibly being in the upcoming movie. And a lot of people were commenting saying, those actors will never do it. They're going to get paid too much. I've talked about in previous videos how Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer did a poll, asking people, and so they want to see play Johnny Cage, and Chris Evans was the top pick. And she said, well, she would love to see Chris Evans play the character. She thinks that he would cost too much. I don't know that Warner Bros. Is going to give Mortal Kombat that much more of a budget. I'm sure they'll get more of an increase. They got a new writer. I'm sure they get more for effects and stuff like that. So maybe costumes will be in the budget, but I wouldn't go to say that they're going to be like totally revamped. I think they might stick to similar what we already used to in the first film, just kind of slightly add on that. I think of it more of like cars. Cars usually, they usually range from 5 to 10 year model years, and then they get like a mid-cycle refresh. We might get like a mid-cycle refresh for these costumes. We'll have to wait and see. So another interesting one that people wanted to see as far as an improvement was to kill Cole Young off. So despite responding to Lewis Tan himself, fans did not hold back their thoughts on killing off the new character or letting him take the back seat to OG MK characters. User at FutureBoy said he'd like to see Liu Kang winning and even stealing the show, while user Mal Montiero said he wanted the death of Cole Young within the first 5 minutes, and other user NCY Sports Pain adding that it should be with a finish him cue, much like what happened to Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. One user at Pixel to Pixel had an interesting idea and have Scorpion be possessed by Quan Chi and have him kill Cole Young off in the first 5 minutes of the film. Pretty gruesome, pretty horrible, but some fans want to see him gone. As I've said in previous videos, Cole Young is a very contentious character. Some people like him, some people don't like him. I feel like the majority of people are on the don't like. Even after seeing him be in the first film, do I think we need Cole Young? Not really. I think we could go without him, but he is in the movie. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I would be shocked if they killed him off in the second one. Oh, so we're getting Johnny Cage, so now we don't need Cole Young anymore? That'd be crazy. I just don't think that's going to happen. So I think Cole Young is here to stay. I think he's going to just be an aid to the heroes. Maybe Liu Kang can still be the chosen one. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think that they're going to kill Cole Young off. I think he's going to be here to stay. And finally, the last improvement that fans want to see is an actual tournament happen. So of course, in the first one, many fans thought we were going to see the tournament style from what we got in the OG 1995 Mortal Kombat, and that is not what happened. We got somewhat of what I would like to think of as a bunch of just gang-style battles in the arena, much like Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realm style, where characters was going left and right, and some died off and some didn't, some got injured. But overall, it was more of a tale of trying to have the heroes find their arcana, some more than others, introduce the characters to the fans or to the new viewers, and have them meet up and have, fight and have some type of problems happen, problems arise, and then they end with one final battle between the two most popular characters in the franchise, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and that's basically it. So I feel like with that, that's a lot happening right there, and so I don't know really a tournament could have, happened through all that. I guess you could have had that happen, but I feel like the way the movies came out, the tournament would just been like a backdrop and kind of like a waste. So I hope with this second one, we do get like an official tournament. I do think that it should follow the same kind of storyline that we're used to. Maybe have some newer characters in that we haven't seen before in previous movies. Have Shang Tsung lose, have Shao Kahn come in and say this isn't over, and then we'll get our Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Other topics that were suggested I wanted to talk about were a crossover with the Justice League. Could you imagine a live-action Mortal Kombat versus DC movie? That's definitely what we need. The recent spots for the Super Bowl coming out for DC movies talking about we need a hero showcasing all the movies for 2022, especially Black Adam, would definitely be a good set of heroes to go against our Mortal Kombat characters. Leave in the comments below if you want to see this movie happen as far as a spin-off, and do you think this is the Mortal Kombat movie that we need to see? So what do you think about all the improvements that fans said they wanted from Lewis Tan's tweet? Do you agree with them? If you don't, which ones do you like and don't like? And which ones do you want to see as far as the sequel goes? And that's it for this video, guys. Enjoy that like button. If you want more of us, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.